Hey guys, me Dan Manny, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to read and write in binary. This should make it a little more in-depth than the short I made, but you can check that out if you want. So first, I'm gonna teach you why binary is written like that and how to understand it. So binary is typically written in 8 digits, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but it's written from right to left. So it actually moves exponentially. So if I start at the 1 here and go to the left, it's 1 times 2. And if I want to go left again, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16, and it keeps going. So 16 times 2 is 32. 32 times 2 is 64. 64 times 2 is 128. 256, 512, 1024, etc. It keeps going. But usually, for just writing the alphabet, which some like to do, you only need the first 5. But if you want to, you can add 3 more digits afterwards. So, to remember to be able to read it and understand it, you have to know that when you see a 0, whatever number it correlates to means it's often or unused. So, if I have a 0, like I do here in this example that I'm going to show you, it means that the number that it correlates to, in this case is a 16, you don't add it to the eventual sum. If it's a 1, that means it is on and used, because that means it does have a value that you have to add. So for the example, this 4 here, sorry, 8 here, this is a 1, so you add the 8 to the sum. Okay? So here's the example here that I was showing you, is 41. So it goes from 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. Now it's 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, which means you add the first one, which is 32, plus the next one, which is an 8, plus the next one, which is a 1. 32 plus 8 plus 1 equals 41. And the way you have to add this is to read this, you have to add the sum of the ones. So I just showed you 32 plus 8 plus 1 equals 41. And you write this from right to left. Another example of this would be 72. Because if we do it here, this is written in 7 digits, but you can add another digit or whatever you want. It has to at least be 7, because that's how you make it. Now, if it's written in 8 digits, that is, you can make it to a hexadecimal, and that could be a different video. So, 64 is less than 72, so we can add it there. 64 plus 32, that's above 72, so we put a 0 for the 32. 64 plus 16 is 80, and the 80 is above 72, so we put a 0 above the 16. 64 plus 8 is 72, so since we've already gotten 72, we put a 1 above the 8, and then put zeros for the rest. So that's how we got 0. 0. I put an extra 0 there because if you have one over here, you can have a 0 and have another one for 128 there. So I put an extra 0 there in case you want to put it for hexadecimal. Then you put the 1 for 64 because you're adding 64. And then you're adding 8 again. But remember, you have to put those zeros in so that we know. So 1 0 for 32, 1 0 for 16, but put a 1 for 8. And then the rest are zeros since we didn't use them. So 64 plus 8 equals 72. So that is how you would write 72 in binary. Now, I have another example of this, and just to show you again, it works just like this. So if I want to do 0, write it in like alphanumeric, in the binary form of the alphabet. So 0 is the 15th letter of the alphabet. 0, which means 0 equals 15 because it's the 15th letter. And you write 0 in binary like 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. I use 5 digits this time because again, remember the alphabet only goes up to 26, so you only need the first 5 digits of a binary thing. 16 is too big for 15. So we take an 8. So we have an 8 down here. Right here. And then we say, okay, well, 8 plus 4 is 12, which isn't bigger than 15. So we put a 4 down. 2, we need a 2. It turns to 14. Not 15. And then we put the 1 down, which turns it into 15. So for 8, 4, 2, and 1, we put a 1 under each one of them. And for 16, we put a 0 under it, because we don't need to use it. And to show how this works, sorry, 1 minute. This, what you see here, 0 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, is just the sum of the numbers that are being used up here. So 0 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. In the end, this equals 15, because 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. And so 0 equals 15 equals 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay? I'll do one more example with you guys, because I'll show you how it is in real time. 1 minute. Okay. So, sorry. So, I'm going to think of a random number here. I'm going to say 29. Okay. So we're going to say what 29 equals. Okay. Let me get my black Sharpie out because it makes it easier to read. So, we're going to have 29 here. So, since it only goes up to 31, we're only going to need the first 5, but I'll write it in 8 just to be a little more precise and binary. So I'm going to write it down here. So it goes up to, remember, 1, 2, oh wait, you can't see that. Sorry, here, let me move this up a bit. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and then 128. So, this is 8 digits. Now, to be honest, if you want to, these 3 here are optional. Only for this number. For some numbers that go above 63, for example, 64, you would need the 3 over here. Or sorry, anything that goes above 31, you would need, like 32, like 64, like 120. It goes on, okay? So, I'm going to write it in just the 5 here, because it makes it simpler for you guys. So, 16. 16 is one that is less than 29, so we're going to put a 1 for it here. Or actually, you know what, I'll do it under to make it a little easier. So, 29, and I'll do it above. That makes it easier for you guys to see. Now, 16 plus 8 is 24, and 24 is less than 29, so we use it. 24 plus 4 is 28, and 28 is also less than 29, so we can add it to it to get closer and closer. Now, 28 plus 2 is 30, so we can't use the 2, so we put a 0 above it. 28 plus 0, or if you want to count this, you can add it to a 0, just to make it easier. So 28 plus 0 plus 1 equals 29. So we finally hit 29, so we put a 1 above the 1 and add, just to show. So 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1 equals 29. So 29 would be written as, if we look back down, 11101. So it's written as 11101, or if you want to use the 8 digits, it's 00011101. And the reason I'm showing this is because I'll have a cool little video later on talking about binary and other codes and Morse code and some mathematical things that have to do with binary. And I think it'll be a little interesting. Hope that helped. Bye-bye.